Alright, so today we're going to be moving on to the second half of chapter 8. So we're going to start with factoring polynomials. So last week we were multiplying polynomials, so we're going to do kind of the reverse. So a review of last week, to simplify the following, we have a times 3a plus 7. So outside the parentheses, we'll take that a and distribute it out. So that will become 3a squared plus 7a. Same thing here, I have negative 2m. Distributing that out to m squared, 6m, and negative 1. Negative 2m times m squared gives me negative 2m cubed. Negative 2m times positive 6m gives me negative 12m. And negative 2m times negative 1 makes that a positive 2m. And then lastly, I have 5xy times x minus 2y. So again, just distributing that out. So that's going to be 5x squared y minus xy squared. So that was when we were multiplying. Now we're factoring. So what is factoring? Factoring is the process of separating a polynomial back into a product. Process of separating a polynomial back into a product. So what that means is we're going to take any products out of it. Product is multiplication, so any number that is common, greatest common factor, we're pulling that out. So polynomials that cannot be factored are going to be called prime. It means we cannot take anything out. So, examples, I'm going to go over a couple with you. So number 1, I have 3x plus 12. So I want to find the greatest common factor of 3x and 12. What can I divide both of those terms by? So 3x and 12 are going to be divisible by 3. So I'm going to take that 3, pull it outside the parentheses. 3x divided by 3 is going to leave me with just x, and then 12 divided by 3 is going to leave me with 4. Okay, so I have 3 times x plus 4. And then to check this and make sure it's the same thing, redistribute it. So 3 times x gives me 3x. 3 times 4 gives me 12. If those are the same, we factored correctly. Same thing with number 2. I have 7y minus 7. So 7y and 7, greatest common factor. What number can we pull out of both of those terms? Is going to be a positive 7. So I'm going to take and put that 7 outside of the parentheses. 7y divided by 7, I'm going to be left with just y. And then negative 7 divided by 7 is going to be negative 1. So I'm going to be left with 7 times y minus 1. And then I can check that answer by taking and distributing what's outside the parentheses. So 7 times y, 7y. 7 times negative 1 gives me negative 7. And there's my self-check to make sure that I did it correctly. And I did want to go over examples 9 and 10 with you. These are ones that have multivariables in them. So we have 15a squared b minus 30ab. So we need to find out greatest common factor for both of these terms. So I know that 15 and 30 can both be divided by 15. So definitely going to take that 15 out of there. Both terms have the variable a. 15a squared b, so this means there's 2 a's multiplied in there, and 30 has 1a. So if I take 1a from both of these, I'll still have 1a left in my first term. And then both of these terms have a b, so I'm going to pull that b out. Okay, so 15a squared b, 15 divided by 15, so I'm just going to have 1 as my coefficient. A squared divided by a, taking 1a away from it and left with just 1a. And b divided by b is going to give me 1. So all I have left in that first term is going to be a. And then minus 30 divided by 15 is going to give me 2. A divided by a gives me 1, so that variable is gone. And b divided by b is going to give me 1 again, so that variable is gone. Okay. So now to double check this answer to make sure I factored it correctly, I'm going to take that 15ab and distribute it to both terms. So 15ab times a, or 1a, is going to give me 15. Keep my base of a, add my exponent, so both of these have an exponent of 1. So it's going to be a squared, and then I just have a b left, so 15a squared b. And then I have negative 2 times 15ab. So negative 2 times 15 is going to give me negative 30, and then I just have AB left, so I'm going to tack that on the end. That's going to be the same as what I started with, so that one is correct there.